So because it's on his fingertip. Oh, there are insurances. Yes. Oh yeah. There's insurance. Don't do you anything. You have to go. So if you hurt yourself at work, you want to go through your works like stuff. Oh. He's coming, folks. He's live. He did change his title. But in America, the way it works is you want to go through your work when you hurt yourself at work, because then they are responsible for paying for everything. You're not. But the downside of going through that is that they don't pay it. Sir, hold on. What does that say? Block party time. Black party time. Oh, hold on. I gotta accept it. Hold on. Here. Oh wait, I gotta go to your stream together. Hold on. Oh. Ayo.
Test. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. But no one else is. No one being the lovely Jackie K. Everything got messed up from last night. And I could do the desktop audio, but then we could have some weird sounds come in. Come to lurk so you can make your podcast. Love you misplay. Jackie, are you talking? I have no idea. Why is the scene not working? Okay. That needs to be set to speakers. No, wait. She is talking. Why don't I hear her? I hear the fellow ginger. Aww. I'm only half ginger. Hey, there is black hair there. It's just very, very, very small. I turned on your stream so I could hear you. Well, no, for some reason you're not coming through on Firefox. I don't have any sound from you. No, I mean I'm not even getting like reaction. Like it's not. It turns purple when I talk, but it doesn't do anything when you talk. I think you don't have your mic routed. I was trying to be nice, but if we're gonna call me out like that. But do you have it set up for in stream together? Maybe. Huh. But it's set to your default mic? Because I'm only hearing you through stream. I'm not hearing you through stream together. Oh, yeah. That happened last time. And you can't change it? Go up to the top and you'll see a little like camera icon. And see if it says your mic is temporarily enabled. See, guys, this is what you get to see. You get to see all the real-time stuff. And now I'm showing you as muted. I'm gonna eat my beef stroganoff I didn't get a chance to eat beforehand. Hey, there we go. All right, let me turn off your stream. Make sure you're coming into... Yes, I can hear you. All right, let me see if it's coming to Streamlabs still. Why is it going to Streamlabs now? Go ahead and talk. That's weird. No, I see it on stream. It's not coming up on my side. Streamlabs does hate me. Between yesterday and today. I am done with it. But I'm not, because it's still better than what I was doing, so. Double mic talking about a spare moment in the situation. Oh. Oh, yeah. I mean, that I ran into that when I turned it on today. That it wiped all my settings. That was part of it. And then part of it I fixed during the block party yesterday. Oh, now I'm hearing myself twice. Oh, okay. But it's not taking... It's... Okay, let me just do this then. We will just do an audio capture source. I don't hear anything fine, but I'm not listening to your stream. Okay, let me capture you first, and then you can. All right, and we'll just grab the Firefox. There.
Myself talk. No, it's fine. We're good. It's fine. Everything is okay.
All right.
It just looks funny.
I think I have you, but I don't know if I have you doubled or if I'm hearing doubled because I'm capturing Firefox. Can you talk real quick? And
hey, y'all.
Is she sounding double or am I just hearing double?
We're going crazy. It's fine.
Yep,
what?
Which one?
Abzu, do I sound
It's not doubled. Okay,
fine?
okay. Then I just
side.
That's fair. All right, I knew how to fix that one. All right, turn off the
TV
monitor.
says yours sounds fine.
I'm good now.
Okay.
You guys sound fine.
Neither you guys sound fine. Okay, that's all that matters. All right, fantastic. All right, now we're going back to ignoring you guys. We love you, but also.
No, we need to put that message up.
I did.
No, I need to put the message up.
It's a shared chat. They should be able to see it.
They don't see your pin message.
Ridiculous.
I'm just going to copy your pin message.
Okay. We love you. We'll answer you soon. Did you do what I sent you?
Yes, I did. I did it this afternoon.
Okay. I might be able to sneak you in there.
Yeah, I didn't realize your your affiliation.
I love May. I love May dearly.
No, May is pretty cool.
May is wonderful.
I've had the pleasure of hanging out in her stream. I think probably because you rated her.
Yeah.
All right. Be sure you're recording in case we have like a technical issue with Wi-Fi. And it will.
Are we starting? You want to start with an intro? Do you want me to talk? You want me to do an intro?
This is our intro.
Well, I'm asking.
That's fine.
Shall I grant him his goal? His goal of what? What's your goal? You have a goal?
I have a goal?
I don't know. Oh, you need one more follower.
I do?
Vince, do it. You're at 219 out of 220 according to your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
I'll even give you a sticker. Hey, thank you for the follow. Inspiring Twin Blogs. You get a sticker.
Vince is wonderful.
Actually, I owe like 6 stickers.
Vince was my OG stream husband.
You were the first
Vince was
one?
here before you.
That's okay. All right. So, Vince, you get that record player.
All right.
Goes on the bookcase to market so that it's not Awkward Wife's. She was going to steal my bookcase.
And you stole my sticker idea, but here we are.
I did. Not denying it. Duck idea was mine, though. Kind of.
If it walks like a duck and honks like a goose, what is it?
Honk. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, actually though, are we doing an intro?
Yeah. I don't have one.
I'll vamp one. It's fine. That's what I'm here for.
We can just slowly piece one together eventually. Goose, y'all.
All right. We're ready. I'm gonna actually start recording now.
Oh, I've been actually recording. This is for the.
Oh, all right.
The archives.
This is for the vamps. All right.
These are the clips.
Why does this feel more awkward than?
Because I'm here.
Like actually streaming. Oh God, Kennedy, can you ask questions? Sure.
Yeah, that's part of the point. I mean, we may not answer them right away, but
we're gonna explain all that in just a moment. All right.
Yeah. Well, first we gotta do an intro, apparently.
I mean, I feel like people probably should know what this is about, other than us being assholes.
Don't feel awkward. It's the same. We are still judging. We know. We know.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not just you guys we're going to be talking to. This is going out many places.
Yep.
So
that's Awkward's job.
All right.
Wait, gotta make sure the soundboard's ready.
What is this podcast about?
Yeah, we did lose. I did lose our itinerary. Where do we put it? We have a plan.
I pulled it up. Okay, ready? Okay. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome on in to the first episode of Streamer Talks with Jackward. I'm the Jack. That's the word. And we are here to chat about all things streaming while we chat about our journeys, things that have happened to us, fun things we have planned for the future, and everything in between. So sit back, relax, and maybe you enjoy the sound of our voice. I don't know why you're listening to this, because quite honestly, we don't know what we're doing either. I'm your favorite host, number 1. Jackie, aka Jackie K Plays. You can find me anywhere here on the internet. I'm a silly goose here on the internet that likes to talk a lot about mental health and mental wellness because I firmly believe that everyone deserves a space to share those thoughts, feelings, and heck emotions while I sit here, yap, and play some games. My co-host down here in the corner is...
My name is Awkward Hero. I go by Awkward, Hero, you know. Anything in between. Water?
He goes by the Ward.
Warder?
He goes by Ward.
I am a variety streamer who just invites everyone to come join the family gathering. We want you to be your authentic self and pull up a plate and enjoy your time. So that is who I am. And if it's not Awkward, it's not me.
Fair. True statement.
Fact.
But to start off our first podcast, we kind of wanted to obviously do a little intro, explain who we are, kind of explain what this was going to be about. Because y'all may have never seen our faces before. But Awkward and I started this whole journey kind of together when we decided that we wanted to start playing Fortnite every Friday together. And we found out somehow we have some really great chemistry together when we're doing whatever. And we're like, listen, let's take this show on the road and see what else we can do. So here we are, yapping to all of you.
And if you want to help us take that show on the road, please feel free to donate. Shameless plug.
So that we may come to TwitchCon next year and do this live and in person.
Oh my gosh. If this
God, what a shit show that would be.
We got to do that.
Future casting for ourselves. Taking the show to San Diego. We are both planning to go to TwitchCon. That'll be the first time we're meeting IRL.
Yeah, we've actually never met in person. It's kind of funny. Jackie, I think has a lot shorter journey, but we're definitely she's definitely the more advanced one of us too in a lot of things. It's why I always am looking to her to help kind of put things together, including the Jackward, streamer talk. So,
they used to tell me that in high school that I was the more advanced one for everyone. I don't know if that was a good thing or bad thing.
I was gonna say that could go either way.
Oh my goodness. We make really bad jokes, y'all. We make really bad jokes, y'all. I wasn't ready for that. You weren't ready for it. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
I know. That's why I wasn't ready for it.
Also, I would like you to know I put on makeup just for you and the people watching at home because I looked like a potato.
That's sweet of you.
Mr. Jackie said, no, you don't look like a potato. I said, you have to say that if you want to have a wife.
That's fair.
So.
But I think it'd be really hard for you to look like a potato.
Let's see. All right. So, first thing on the agenda for tonight's podcast, I feel like I'm gonna have to rope us back in. Yeah. Keep us on topic.
I'm all about derailing. So yeah, I think you're gonna have to put us back on the tracks.
So obviously, what we want to do and kind of what we want to accomplish with the podcast and our whole idea of the podcast was Jackward and I are very much in the same space and same season of streaming. But we wanted to bring a podcast where there's so many questions. Like, I know for me personally, and I'm sure Jackward gets them too all the time. We get questions of why did you start streaming? How did you start streaming? I want to start streaming. What should I do? X, Y, and Z. And there is so much information out on the internet on how to start streaming, why to start streaming. You should buy this, 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 and this to start streaming, all of that. And it's so overwhelming and confusing. And I feel like it's true. So I feel like him and I kind of wanted to start something so that we could explain to everyone out there. One, it doesn't have to be expensive to start a stream. Two, you don't have to be a professional to start a stream. Clearly, you're listening to us yap right now. Farthest thing from professional. And we wanted to make it relatable because I feel like a lot of the times the advice you're getting are from people that you see that are partnered on YouTube, partnered on Twitch. There are people that are getting paid to say these things. And we're just here as regular average Joes off the street.
And I think that's an important aspect of it all is that I know I've gone to many streams in my, it's almost 2 years now of streaming, and they just say, you just go look online, and online it's the same 5-6 facts. It's keep a consistent schedule and start what you got, and those aren't bad pieces of advice, but I think it also makes it really hard when you have unconventional jobs or maybe you have a change in life. I know for me this last month, I had a whole thing planned out and I was going to do all these spooky games. And then I had trip after trip for my real job. And so it made it really hard to kind of keep it consistent, but it's really just about finding what works for you and all that. And that's what I think is hard as new streamers enter the field every single day is how do we do that? How do we How do you go about doing that? And so, I'm not someone who likes to read a book too often. I mean, I do, but it's, fictional books, not non-instructional manuals. And I skip the tutorial quite often. So how can we start creating conversations for people like us, people who are just starting out, even people who have been doing it for a long time, and create a space where everyone feels that they can thrive?
Yeah. So we had discussed, what do we want to talk about for our first stream? And we both collectively decided that for the first stream, we wanted to kind of talk about our lives before streaming, like what we did, kind of our experiences in the space prior to starting to stream, why we started streaming, and kind of just us as people, so you guys can kind of get that background of like where we come from, because we really are regular Joe Schmoes. I promise I'm not being paid for this, and I have actually no clue what I'm talking about most of the time.
Well, to be clear, let's be honest here. We get paid whenever an ad runs. That whole penny.
And we'll go into detail about those. Don't worry. Because I believe in financial transparency on the internet and how much streamers actually make.
Yeah, actually, funny story about that is that today my students were like, "Oh, you can donate to us, right? You get that money from Twitch." I was like, "Okay, guys, you can have a whole play in 10 to 20 years."
You mean that whole $11 that I made on TikTok the other day?
Oh, that's more than I've ever made on TikTok. So
my whole $11 payout.
Nice.
And we'll get into that later down the road. We'll talk about because at this point, Jackward and I have both, I believe, done sponsored content. We both have made some money financially somewheres on the internet, and all that jazz on how to kind of get started. And yeah, so we'll be getting into that. We'll also be starting, I think we decided, my Discord and a Google form that we have not set up.
Oh yeah. That was my to-do, wasn't it?
We're gonna set up both of those, which I can actually add a room to my Discord right now for y'all. If y'all have questions that you want us to discuss on the podcast, that will definitely be your space to do so.
Yeah, we're doing that. It's not that, we can't do that on my Discord. It's just my Discord's a shared Discord, and you interact with a lot of different awesome people, but it can be really hard to do specialized pieces in there. So that's why we just figured Jackie K's Discord would be a great spot for that. So you can go ahead and join that Discord. I didn't turn Mix It Up on today, so my Discord won't come up. But
it didn't. We're good.
Yeah, I know I didn't turn Mix It Up on because I wanted to avoid everything. So I have alerts off. I have everything off.
And with the Discord, if you do go ahead and join, there's a whole section in there that just says podcast questions. It's right under the general chat in there. You do have to verify that you are a human when you go into my Discord, just for safety of everyone.
Yeah, we don't want, the Terminator coming in.
Yeah. So, do you want to start with yourself, talking about your background before streaming, or do you want me to yap about myself first?
I guess I can start that. Okay. So I started streaming in January 31st, 2023. Yeah, so almost 2 years now. And I started streaming because I am a teacher. I have worked in education since 2012, and I was getting burnt out. I needed a space that was kind of mine. I love my family. I love my kids. I'm the dad of two wonderful kids, Jackward son and Jackward daughter. And then Jackward wife will pop in from time to time. She's at rehearsal today, so we won't see her tonight. But She'll pop in from time to time, and I love them all to death. But my entire life, I hadn't had a space that was my own. I didn't do any of those things. It was work or work. like, and I advised several different clubs, still advise several different clubs on my campus, and I did things for other people, and I never did something for myself. And because I never did something for myself, I wanted to do something. I had been wanting to be a streamer since I was probably 17, 18, before it was really a thing. Podcasts had really gotten big at that time, and so that was kind of the thing. It was brand new. I had a Mac. I was like, yes, I want to do this. But it was so hard. There were so many hardware requirements you had to have, and then after you had the hardware requirements, you had to get selected and you had to host it in certain spots, and it was just always a trial to make it happen. And so because of that, I never really dived into it. I always had the equipment. Most of the equipment you see me use is equipment I have had for a long time. The exception maybe being my camera, and then the few things that are specifically Jackward Hero. But this microphone I've had for 5-6 years. I have actually 4 more mics that I just keep for funsies. So I started it in January, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just thought, oh, you just play games. You just play games on stream. And as sad as it was, is I also never really watched Twitch that much until about 2 months before I started to launch this. And we're going to take a quick pause because I just went to an ad break. So, awkward. Or do you want to just keep going?
I would just keep going because my ads are going to start after yours end.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so give me a second. So, I didn't really think much about it, and I would watch content, and I would try and almost recreate what other people were doing. See what they were doing, see the different pieces that they were doing, but at the same time, I didn't really have any particular motivation, anything there. It was just, again, to create a space for myself. And so as time went on, it started around September of 2023. I started to get people were interested in watching and talking, but it would like plateau and I couldn't get any further. And so that's where Jackie and I's paths started to collide shortly after. And from there, it's been history. It's been a journey, though. I've been doing this for almost 2 years, and I mean, as you guys can see, I haven't made a huge headway, but a lot of that headway happened in the last like 4 or 5 months. Well, I've known you for about 7 months now, so 7 months. So that's me. And now there's Jackie.
Well, hello, friends. So, for those of you not listening who might not know who I am, my name's Jackie, and I am a 29-year-old variety streamer here on the internet. And prior to streaming, I had no internet knowledge, like legitimately whatsoever. I watched Twitch streams, but had not done a single tech thing in my life. Tech was not a thing I did. I've been a gamer pretty much all my life, though. Like, I played OG Animal Crossings back when it came out on GameCube. I played The Sims on my computer for a while, like all of those things. But I never done anything in the realm of like tech. And so back in 2020, I had talked with Mr. Jackie, and I was like, it's something I was thinking about doing. And I had just been furloughed from my job, and I was at home. And I was like, it's not the right time for it. And I had some life things happen that really just kept kind of putting it over and over and over to like not make it happen at that time. So when Mr. Jackie and I bought our house in last year, back in 2023, we decided that it was time. I said, I'm gonna start streaming, and he said, all right, I'm just here with you. If this is what you want to do, I'm gonna wholeheartedly support everything behind that. And so I've been streaming a little under a year. November 16th, I believe, according to my Twitch panels, I could be wrong. I think it's the 16th of this year. Is my 1 year anniversary here on Twitch and on the internet streaming. And in that year, I have learned more than I ever thought possible. Yeah, it is November 16th. Look at me go. I have learned more than I ever thought possible. Did I ever think in less than a year on the internet I would amass 766 followers here on Twitch, 2,000 I think 30 followers over on TikTok, 118 subscribers over on YouTube? No. It was a little bit crazy. But I decided that I needed a space. So I have diagnosed anxiety. I talk about that a lot on my channel. I knew that I needed a space. I needed a creative outlet to kind of help with my anxiety because my husband and I had moved back to a small town just outside of where I grew up. And there wasn't a lot to distract me. Like when we were living in a bigger city, it was a lot easier just to go out, go here, go there, do whatever, and not worry about it. Here, there's a cow that lives down the street and a cornfield the other side. There's nothing distracting me from the intrusive thoughts that live in my head. So I was like, I love playing games. I want to share that with the world. And so I got started. I had some big influences with the streamers that I was watching. And I was like, I love them and what they're doing. And I want to do this myself. So sorry, y'all. Sorry, I'm getting over being sick. So I was like, I want to do this. And I had no clue what I was doing. I want to say 3, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about 3 or 4 months into my journey, was when Jackward and I really started sharing the same space. And kind of mixing into sorry, y'all.
Drama. Just kidding.
But yeah, we started sharing like the same circle, and I learned so much from the shared experience of what we went through. I don't know if we're gonna get into that. We haven't talked about that yet.
No, we need to
and it's been an amazing 11 months here on the internet. I have all of these things to look back on, and I'm officially a part of 2 stream teams at this point, and I'm excited to see where this podcast takes us. This is my official announcement. Today, we got announced that I'm officially part of my 2nd stream team here on the internet.
Yeah, I know. And so proud of you.
So that's so exciting. But it's been a journey. And I feel like Jackward's kind of on this journey of self-discovery right now. I made my journey of self-discovery and where the channel's going.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird it's a weird scenario in some ways because like I knew what my brand was way into the whole spiel, but I didn't because and I think this is something that a lot of people can struggle with is defining what your brand is. I think that's a huge thing, and you can't create the goose army without knowing that that's what you want it to be and what does that mean and all this. And so to a degree I had thought about that when I started. That was actually the 2 months before I started streaming. That's what I spent a lot of time doing, is like, what do I want this to be? And I know so many streamers who don't even bother with that. They don't even bother to answer that one little question. And that's such a hard thing to define because you don't think of yourself as a brand. You don't think of yourself as, hey, it's a Mr. Jackie.
It is a Mr. Jackie. He's getting me water so I can stop coughing.
You don't think of those little things that go into it. And what does it even mean? Like, I've taught branding, I've taught design and all this other stuff. And I've had those conversations with students, but when you're a streamer, you're defining yourself. And as an educator, I've defined myself. As a designer, I've defined myself. But as a streamer, I never thought about it. Not gonna lie.
Being your own brand is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Like, having someone look at you and go, explain who you want to be as a streamer is the hardest question you will ever be asked in your streaming journey. Like, I didn't know how to talk about myself. I'm like, what do you mean you want me to explain who I want to be? I don't know who I want to be. I'm just a baby. Like, I don't know.
I mean, and I think, at least for me, it comes with when you defined yourself, it was always, well, at least when I was taught growing up, it was around the work you did. The work you did defined who you were. So I was a teacher, I was a designer, and that was who I was and how I operated within that. I was the school, I was the companies I was working with. It was never about me. And so that was such a foreign idea. Is even though I'm an independent contractor, I've worked independently for 20 years. It was never what is the Jackward brand. I'm filling in Jackward for my actual name, but what is that brand? So that is kind of just the difference is when you're a streamer, you have to, that is part of your brand is who you are and what you want to be. And do you tolerate when people do X, Y, Z and what is that line and defining all that? And I think that's such a hard thing for a lot of streamers, especially new ones, to understand when you're sitting there.
And I feel like it's really hard as a new streamer coming in because, like, okay, I have to brand, like, I feel like in some shape, way, form, coming in, no matter how much you know or don't know as a streamer, I have to brand myself in some way, shape, or form. Like, all of the channels you watch have some form of a brand on it. Like, we have channels out there that are branded as little, like, coffee cafes or, whatever it may be. And you're like, what is my brand? What do I want to be? Because you feel such a sense of like, I have to figure something out before I do this because this is what I'm going to be known for on the internet. Like, that's the hardest thing is like, I better pick something good because this could be what takes off and then I'm stuck with it.
And I think another side of that is when I did my first branding, for those who've been around the Jackward brand for a while, the first branding was actually the games I played. It was nothing more than that. And not to mention there's like a legal issue with using characters and stuff around that. It's also just you want to be able to do more. Like, I know so many streamers, they started off, they were like, hey, I want to play this game, and then they made Legend of Zelda their whole brand, and then they built their following and they did really well, and then their followers have kind of restricted them from branching beyond that. That's why both Jackie and I, you'll hear us, we say we're variety streamers because we don't play just one game. Jackie does have her catalog that she sticks with her 3 or 4 games, and you'll see me on Fortnite quite a bit, but that's not the only game I play. And I don't want it ever to be like the audience is saying, hey, you have to play this. And so it's stuff like that you don't really think about when you're starting out. You think, oh, the games I play is the brand, but it's really not.
And it's such a big thing though too, because you have to think, and again, coming in as a new streamer is so hard to see like perspective on this, but you have to think if you brand yourself as just a game, you're not going to find brands to work with because you're selling yourself to companies. Your brand is what you're selling to companies in order to get your sponsorships, to get like anything of that nature is what you're selling to the companies to get these things. And if all you're known for is Zelda, you can't sell that to a brand because it's copyright. You have to be your own brand.
Yeah, the only companies that are going to be interested in that are the ones that want to be known as the next Zelda game. And there is no next Zelda game. Zelda is Zelda. And you can't really like easily siphon people off because Zelda sells itself in its name. And same thing with so many of the Nintendo brands specifically. But also, Xbox and Sony, they have their brands and their pieces, and those are theirs. You won't be able to do much with them, and the few deals you get aren't going to be as great because they know you can't go anywhere.
I mean, and speaking of Nintendo, branding wise, at least in the space that I'm in, you know how many streamers are branded as something crossing because of Animal Crossing when they came out in 2020, and that's when everyone started their channels. And I know so many streamers that have had to go back and rebrand because they're like, well, if I stick with that name, then it's going to be Where's the Animal Crossing? I want to be more than Animal Crossing. And it's like, it's one of those things that you don't think about because you're like, all right, it sounds cute. But then you're there. If you blow up with that, that's where you got to stay. There is no rebranding when you get big.
Yeah, I mean, we even see this with other streamers. They create alt accounts after they're partnered or something like that because they've been expected to make content like that. Even you, Jackie, you made a different account for your After Dark content because you wanted to be a little more spicy. And that's so hard because that means you're building a whole new brand. And unless you're in that partnered space or even high, probably even more than partnered because follows are easy to get. Let's just be honest here. Follows are easy to get. The problem is continuing to build that community. And if you're trying to build a new community, your community's not going to follow necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, it is so hard to to rebrand. Like there's only so much that you can do under a certain name. And like, I can't tell you how hard it is as someone who has started an alt channel, which first off, if you don't have an alt channel, get you one because when you need to test things, it's always a great place that because like we both have pretty loyal regulars that they see our going lives and they're going to pop in. It is nice having an alt channel when I need to test something that I know there's not going to be people there.
And believe me, neither of us knew that was a thing for us because we did one of these test runs. And then we had so many people just show up. And we appreciate you guys, don't get me wrong here, but it was just so funny. We're like, oh yeah, we'll just go live. We'll say it's not a bit nothing. And then we can test this out. And it was just so funny because we ended up doing a live stream that day because that neither of us planned. Because that's the beauty of it. But there's so many different applications. There's so many things that you have to just go in the field and test. You can only do so much at your computer. You have to eventually go live. And I think that leads us into the kind of our tip of the day for all this, but I digress. So that it's an alt channel is so important. I have actually 2 alt channels because one is a moderator and one is there for testing.
Mm-hmm. There's a streamer I follow who her name is Mellow Teddy. She just surpassed 20,000 followers here on Twitch. She only streams specifically here on Twitch, and she even said, she goes, I have an alt channel that I go and me and Mr. Teddy go and and test things on, because I love you all, but there'd be 100 of you sitting here in my chat, and I'm literally just trying something out, and it's nonsense. Like, it's something you have to do, but also don't be afraid to try things on your main channel and step out of your comfort zone, but just make sure it's within your brand. Because I tell y'all, for the most part, we keep it roughly PG-13 around here for both of our channels. That's kind of the range we stay in. I won't say family friendly, because we're not always there. The adult inappropriate jokes come out very often, usually when we're together. But we typically keep it PG-13, and sometimes you just got to let the emotions out, man. And sometimes it doesn't always fit your brand, and you need to step aside and head to the alt channel.
I mean, that happened to me yesterday. Yesterday we were doing a block party, and there was an incident that happened right on stream, and I had to react. And I'm so grateful Jackie was actually in there with me to help me kind of steer the thing. But even sometimes when you're live and you're already on that channel, like, you have to still remember what's going on. And I mean, that particular incident required me to have to take down the live, which was unfortunate because it was a shared collaboration, but I had to take it down because it's not on brand. It's very problematic for me. And at the end of the day, for me, I always look at it and I want my kids to be able to look at it and be like, Dad, but also be like, Dad. Like, that's an important aspect for me. And you know, that's the thing though. You have to prepare for almost everything. I think that's one of the hardest things as a streamer is you have to be ready for the person who wants to egg you on. You got to be ready for the people who want to try and instigate to political debates or just get your chat riled up. You get to control that. You are the streamer. And that, I think that's a really learning curve for a lot of people. It wasn't as much for me. I run a classroom, so I have, 30 some odd feral teenagers in my ward every now and then. But so that wasn't weird. That wasn't as weird for me. And some of those feral teenagers end up in here and try and do the same things. But it's, I know that I've talked to streamers where they don't know how to handle the hecklers. They don't know how to handle the, when plans go awry. And yes, there are plans. We have plans right in front of us about what we were doing today.
Well, that, first, I'm reading Vince's comment, and that kind of leads me into, do we want to discuss where we met?
I mean, I don't think where we met is anything bad. I think it was, we've talked about it many times. I think that's fine.
So Vince asked in the chat, is that why you went from coffee beans to gooses? So actually, it's been, because I've been out of there for almost a month. So about 8 months ago, I came across someone on TikTok who was offering help with streamers. And it was, I can help you get your channel up off the ground and we can work together. And it was basically just giving you like streaming advice. And so I was like, all right, cool, bet. Like, I want to try it. And so I joined into this group. I think y'all have probably heard me mention it before. It's called Cast or Die. And so basically there's a gentleman named Dom who runs the group. And he, first off, helped me with my audio significantly. Y'all would still be getting trash audio and visuals if it was not for that man. But also he was reviewing one of my streams one day and he heard me make a comment about me being a silly little goose. And he was like, listen, you could take that and turn that into a whole brand for yourself. You could start talking about goose stories. You could make a goose mascot. You could, like, there's a million things that you could do with the brand Gooses. Like, it's something that everyone has heard the phrase silly goose before. It's something relatable that everyone knows about, but it's a little bit different because not everyone's branding themselves as a goose on the internet. And, well, 8 months later, here we are. The queen goose herself, who is sat in a goose suit in this very chair, was born.
Yeah, and I
So,
think that was something that I definitely needed. Was it's really hard to get if you don't have someone on the outside, you don't necessarily know what is happening. So I'm used to working as behind the scenes. So I work with my students. I work with theaters around the country where I'm behind the scenes. I'm making technical things known. Thank you, Lumia Stream. I'm used to working behind the scenes, and so that's one thing that's a little bit different. Is that I'm in front, and so who's watching me? Who's watching? And that was where Dom kind of helped, and several of our collaborators that we work with all met through Dom as well. And that's just kind of the help that he gets, is he gets you started and he gets you the feedback you need, and sometimes he'll tell you the hard truths. I remember one time just sitting there, and he said after he does these big stream reviews, and he kind of just made it like, maybe you aren't cut out for this. And it was a little bit more aggressive than that, but I sat there and I said, you're wrong, in my head, not to his face. Not that aggressive. And it was the next week he had said, this is the person we've been looking for. This is a whole different ballgame. And it was those kind of things that really, really helped there. I work with Dom through my stream team, Team Cord. And so I still work with him in that way. I'm no longer part of his kind of studio. I call it Cord Studio. But other than that, that's kind of where I'm at, and what capacity I still work with him.
Yeah, and him and I are still mutuals, and we have nothing but respect for each other. I pop into his streams frequently and make comments. Him and I like talking about how much better my weather is than his. And
Texas sucks.
I have nothing but admiration and respect for the help he does bring to newer streamers, because when I started, I didn't have anyone that was telling me my audio sucked. I didn't have anyone sitting out there watching my streams. I didn't know that I should be watching my streams back. I didn't want to hear myself talk. Who wants to hear that?
No
you
one.
Sound really funny when you listen to yourself talk. In case you didn't know, you don't sound like what you do on the inside.
Yep, you can blame the little bone next to your jaw. It changes the way your voice sounds. See, these are the things I know.
So that was, and being a person, at least for me, that came from zero tech background, I didn't know I should have a mic on an arm and be in front of my face. I didn't know people couldn't hear me. Like, and we'll get into kind of like the tech side of stuff. We'll go full depth into all of our tech gear and stuff in another stream. But I will tell you, I started bare freaking bones. I think I paid less than $500 for all of my streaming gear to start with. And I didn't know that the mic was more important than the camera. I thought people would want to see my face. I'm kind of cute. Who knew? How would I have ever known? But I made a comment today in his stream, because somebody had asked, what do I do if I have like an aggressive chatter and streamer. It was something along those lines. And, you know, Dom's advice and advice that we give everyone too is ban them. Ban them and move on. But they came back and said, but if I ban them, I don't have anyone to talk to. And so I made the half-assed comment that was, so don't ban them then, but then you're going to be known as having a shitty community. And you have to weigh the pros and the cons because you have to decide what you want to be known for. Personally, I like being known as having a very safe and inclusive space for everyone to come as you are and feel free to be who you are as a person without being a jerk off in my chat. Because if you're a jerk off, you're going to get the ban, you're going to get the kick, you're going to go. Like,
and you know, Chibi had said earlier the OGs, and the OGs were actually for the Jackward channel were actually a lot of dillweeds. That wasn't the one I wanted to say. That was the PG version. They were people who just constantly would try to isolate or make me feel bad or make others feel bad. And honestly, it was the time in streaming when I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. Like that was, and don't get me wrong, there are other times where I feel like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But that's a whole different discussion. But once you remove that kind of toxicity from your channel, that's where honestly I got to meet Chibi, and Chibi is my mod. I call them the number one mod because they're just so amazing and wonderful, and they've helped me kind of curate this new environment and new piece to it. And you know, that's the big thing. If you can find someone, even if it's someone you don't know personally, who can be there and talk to you. I've gone into people's streams because I'll hang out in DOMs and they'll be like, no one ever comes. It's so hard to stream. And so I'll hop in there and I'll sit there and I'll listen to them and I'll try to get them to talk. Because you don't think about those things. And it just takes one person. It just takes one person to help you make that change. And for me, I got 2. I was lucky. Actually, I got like 12. But you know, I had Chibi on the mod side and Jackie, who I would just hang out in her streams. It was all because I kept hearing about Jackie and Dom's streams and how she's doing amazing things. I'm like, all right, if he is praising this woman, I gotta see what she's doing. I gotta figure out what she's doing. And I was like, oh, she's just being chaotic all the time. And I kind of dig this. And that's literally now who I'm collaborating with at least now twice a week, collaborating, because normally we meet off stream. We talk on Mondays, and then Fridays we're like, let's do chaos.
Yeah, I mean, and I have to say, I've had the pleasure and the privilege, and I'm calling it a privilege and stamping it as a privilege, and Jackward will agree with me when I say this. It is a privilege because I have had to deal with very many jerkwads in my channel. For the most part, every single person that I have met and come across in my journey has been a genuine, decent human. Like, I have not had many jerkwads.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Can you look at my artwork?
No. Okay, so if y'all are new here, so first off, like I said, you agree though, it is a privilege. Like, it is a privilege that I've 100%. Not had to deal with it.
Yeah,
because
no, as your mod, yes, I can attest to that.
It is such a privilege that I have not had to deal with it because there are so many toxic humans on the internet that think just because you are streaming, they are entitled to say what they want and express how they feel to you, regardless if it's something they'd actually say to your face.
Oh, they won't
Something
say
about
to
being
the
behind
face,
the
because
screen.
I've had people who will say something to me on stream and then they won't say a word to me, about it in person.
Reasons I say it's a privilege. But again, I think a lot of that goes with the community that I've cultivated, plus also being on the more cozy side of the internet. Most of the time, there's not a lot of jerkwads when it comes to cozy gaming. But I mean, when y'all come into my streams, and I've said this from the beginning, and some of my OGs like Vinny's literally pulled up his follow age, and his follow age is 8 months. So he's been here since 2 months after I started streaming. And I've said this from the very beginning, even before I started discussing my mental health with the internet, was when you come in here, I want you to come as you are for who you are, but you're also not going to be a jerk. Like, that's going to go right out the window.
If you're a jerk, you can't come in as who you are. You gotta leave that behind.
You see that pond right there? You might not come back out of it. We accept everyone and love them for who they are in the pond, but you might not come back out. But the comment that Jackward made to me before about being an artist, if you're a new streamer and you have but one, maybe two people watching you, and you post on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, because I feel that's where most of them find you. If you post going live over there, you will get someone in your chat that sounds very genuine and very sweet and loving, and they'll say, "Hi, how are you?" And they'll introduce themselves, and everything sounds wonderful. And then they'll go, "I do really great artwork. I could do really great artwork for your channel. Can I join your Discord?" Don't let them join your Discord.
Don't let them join your Discord, because then they'll start messaging your streamer friend who also mods for you and is a graphic designer. And that's, I think, what makes it really funny for me is that these people come in, "Hey, I think your channel needs a revamp." And I'm just like, you know what? Screw off, because I'm the one who revamped. That happened right after I did the whole turtle redo logo and stuff. Someone came into my chat, I think it was like the next day after it all got posted up, and said, "Your channel looks like it needs a refresh. Can you want to look at my artwork?"
I've had so many people come in and be like, "I could do a great logo and a great banner and great channel artwork for you." And I'm like, well, the artists that I work with for these, I don't think would appreciate that, but okay. Thankfully, I've never gotten sucked into it, because like you'll tell pretty much right off the bat. And I can say for sure, the first time that happens, the first time you get a jackwad in your chat,
Don't
it
ruin
feels
our
very.
brand. We can't say a jackwad.
I said wad, not ward. Listen, do we have to go into the horror discussion again?
Okay, fair. Horror.
But the first time you get someone uncomfy in your chat, whether it's an artist, whether it's someone just being a jerk, it feels hard to want to ban them. Because you're like, well, should I just let it go? It's fine. They're here. They're supporting. And you want that forward growth. But I promise you, just drop the ban hammer. Let it go out of your mind. It's going to feel so much better in the long run. I promise.
It goes to actually a really good, it's a good life lesson, right? Right. If you hold on to the things that weigh you down, you never have room to accept the things that will help you move forward. And so that is something that my wife and I have talked about a lot lately, because we're figuring out our next steps after she graduates, and what's that next piece, and what's best for us and our kids. And I think that's really a good thing for people to hear, is just remember that letting go of that one person who's watching, who maybe gave you that follow that helped you hit 10, I remember, or you're like at 49 and you need, okay, I just need one more follow. I just need one more follow. Then I have my 50 and then I can focus on getting the 3 concurrent viewers, right? And that to get that affiliate mark, because that's where everyone goes to at first. It is so much better for you. It is so much better for you in the long run to hit that band hammer, because the people that you want there will come.
Mm-hmm.
But you might scare them off if you don't.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you said earlier, followers are a dime a dozen. I love all of my followers dearly. Y'all have heard this a million times of how much I love you. But a follow is the simplest thing a person can give you, because they can slap that follow button literally in 2 seconds and then never look at your channel again. Ever. So those numbers have nothing to do with it. That follow number, yes, it's a great milestone for you to go ahead and aim for and do all of that, but it's the easiest thing a person can do for you, and a follow doesn't always mean true support.
It's so true. I mean, I have 219 followers right now, but I only have 4 or 5 people who come almost all the time, and one of them's Jackie, who come in and at least say hi, or just check in on me. And those are the people you want. Those are the people that you want to stick around, and you can't build those connections. It was such, I would like to pretend that Jackie and I met and we've been like this ever since, but it took time. It took trust. It took seeing each other's content. It took I would say it was probably a good month and a half before we actually started working together and working with each other and giving each other feedback. And, it takes time to build that trust. And if it's not someone you don't have, in person, and that's how we interact, is Discord and our streams. So, we only see each other like 3 times, 4 times a week, but that is such a huge part of it.
And what Jackward's not telling you as well, though, is that I might have been one of those people in that chat that was telling Jackward the first week that, bro, you need to step up, because this is not going well. We need to see more of you, which he's not the only one I told that. If y'all know our friend Techno, I was blatantly honest with Techno too. And I said, I need to see your personality come out, because I knew you and him had something that just needed to be pulled out. And y'all just needed to open up for the internet to see it, because I could see it deep down inside. Y'all just needed to show that, because you both were a little bit more reserved. I'm just an open book. I've always been a loudmouth.
And I think Techno's another great example, is that Techno and myself, we had to be reserved for different reasons. We both work behind the scenes of stuff. He works in, computers, and I work in behind the scenes of entertainment. And so we're not used to being the spotlight. We're not used to being in that front piece. And then he decides to dress up like Farmer John one day, and and so it's a whole different ball game. And so that's a huge part of it, is you have to figure out your people. You have to find your people, and you can never know where those people will be found.
Yeah. And to put it in perspective too, right now, looking at my stats, I have 766 followers, and I get 7 to 8-ish on average, sitting somewhere around there. But there is a good statistic out there. And I don't know if you know this or not, probably but not. They actually say that for Twitch standards, I'm not saying this cross board, but Twitch standard, you are doing well if 1% of your following shows up to watch you live stream.
Wow, I'm at 2%. Go me.
1%. If you are getting 1% of your following to come watch you, you're actually doing something right, because a follow is the easiest thing someone can give you. And I've seen that statistic come through time and time and time again. I mean, I know a streamer that I watched that I believe she just hit 200,000 followers on Twitch. She gets anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people watching her at a time. Like, that's your 1% right there. Like, it's a crazy thing to think about that only 1% of your following would be watching you, but it's true.
I mean, most of the people know how awesome we are here, but here's another crazy thing. Here's another crazy little statistic for you to think about. Jackie and I are both in the top 5% of Twitch streamers. We are no ones. Like, in all honesty, we are no ones, and we are in the top 5%.
I believe they said the average Twitch streamer, like, to be, I think, above, like, the top so much percent, like, if you have an average of at least 5 people watching you, you're better than, like, 90% of people on Twitch. Like, not better than, but, like, you're doing better than 90% of people on Twitch.
Yeah, it's not something people think about, is having that one viewer is the typical experience of Twitch streamers. And I think that needs to be normalized more, because people think, oh, you're top 3%, you must be making bank. I did last month, but that was about it. That's been about it. And that still wasn't that much, but it was a lot, because I had a subathon and it went really well. They don't all always go well.
I had a subathon and it didn't go well. And Padme makes a really good point in the comments. It's easy to compare yourself to massive people. Yes. Streaming is something that when you are a new streamer, and I'm going to say this and nobody's going to take my advice because I still do it. I know you still do it. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not. Your journey is your own.
We did this last week.
Your journey is your own. You have to be proud of yourself first before anyone else can be proud of you. Like, it's like they say, and I tell people this all the time, and I use this as a reference. They tell you on a plane, you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can help anyone else around you. And it is so easy to get lost in the streamers that you hear like, well, I started streaming 2 years ago and I'm already partner and I've done this and I've done this and I work with this brand and whatever. It's not the case for everyone. It's not the case for a lot of people.
Most people.
Streamers like that are a dime a dozen. Like, you getting maybe one in every 1,000 streamers that gets to happen to. If that. I want to know, there was a statistic. I'm trying to see.
So I think one thing to add into that too is you need to find the people around you, and so that you can have celebrations all the time. Until I found Jackie, Padbay, Techno, GC, Geek Supreme, and so many more, I would have maybe a win every month, 2 months. It would be like a really great day. But when you have these other streamers around you, it is like celebrating every single day, because it may not be your win, but every single day you get to hear some amazing story. Whether it's someone got a new sponsorship, or they hit their goal, or they had just a really awesome stream, and it's so encouraging because it just drives you further to do more and to try more. And like yesterday's block party, I don't know of anyone who's ever tried to do something like that before. I'm sure someone has, but I wouldn't have ever had that experience had it not been for Padbay. And Padbay's win was my win, because I got to stream there too. And it was a disaster on my end. Like, it should have been a loss. If it had just been me, I would have given up 20 minutes in. That was kind of the beauty of it, is that I got to see and hear about how Padbay hit the home screen during her stream, and that's such a huge thing. That's such an amazing thing to hear that at the end of that long 5-hour stream that someone hit the homepage. That's so cool, and I was so proud of Pad Bay for that. So like that's a whole nother side of it, is like when you find those people, it's really, really cool to get to hear all these wins, and you don't feel like when your wins happen, they're also celebrating you too.
So I just looked up a stat because I wanted to be able to give it to y'all. Currently, as of April 2024, Twitch has approximately 7.23 million active streamers. That is an insane amount of people that are out there. And it's, again, one of those things that, like, it really puts in perspective. You cannot compare yourself to the other 7 million people that are also on this app, because it's not going to do anything. And like, you really do have to find your people. Like I was lucky enough to find not only Jackward and Pad Bay, I found some amazing people with the stream team that I'm on. Like, you ever want to see a collaborative group of people, look at a stream team. The stream team that I'm on has people on it that have 200 followers, that there's people that just hit affiliate, all the way to people that have been partnered for years and have thousands of followers. Like, and we all treat each other no differently. We are all the same people going for the same goal and sharing the same opportunities for each other. Like, it's amazing. And it's one of those things that, again, you cannot compare yourself to others. And I'm going to tell you that as I do that all the time, because I still do that all the time. And I'm going to continue to do that all the time, because guess what? Imposter syndrome is real, folks.
Facts.
And
just facts right there. No, I think that's just such a huge I didn't know it was that many. I didn't know 7.2 million streamer. That seems excessive, but I get it. I also get it because you look at someone like Pirate Software or Cinderella or any of those partnered streamers who sponsor
Ninja,
at
who has
TwitchCon. What?
Ninja, who has 19 million followers.
You look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, that is never gonna happen. And you're right, it might not be, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun with it. That doesn't mean you can't make money doing it. I'm still, even with my payout, I'll tell you what my payout was. It was almost $200 last month, which was really nice.
Look at you.
I know. I had 2 payouts in a row too. That was the cool part. I got 53 in August, and then September.
I'm making
200.
my 50 every month. I'm making just at that 50.
See, that's the thing. I'm not making it every month. I'm just short. I think I'm gonna be just short this month. But like $1. It's kind of sad, but that doesn't pale in comparison to some of the things that I've invested, the games alone that I have to pay for. But now I'm getting to a point where I can go and get publishers to give me games. And so but it took almost 2 years to get to this point for me. And it was easy to just say, screw it. No one cares. I'm out. But you gotta just persevere.
And that's where I kind of wanted to swerve next, is streaming is not a linear journey. It is not, I'm gonna start streaming today and in a month I'm gonna be affiliated. And then 2 months from there, I'm gonna hit, 5 average viewers and so on and so forth. Like, streaming is so not a linear journey whatsoever. Like we were saying, there's people I know that have been on the internet for 6 months and they're already partnered and thriving like no freaking other. And then there's people that I know that have been grinding this journey for years that deserve partner like no other. And we're getting there. They're getting there. They should be there. Well, it's not going to work because you're not in my chat.
No,
but
I just think because it was shared chat, it would work. Yeah, it worked.
That's because I just did it.
Never mind.
But it's one of those things that like streaming is not a linear journey by any standard, and it's so hard to remember that. Like, I think that's one of the toughest things as a new streamer. It's such a hard thing as a new streamer to kind of take that pill and swallow it. That you're going to be streaming to no one for a while. And you kind of just have to deal with it. And then there's going to be days where you finally get yourself to, 5, 6, 7, 8 average viewers. And you're like, yay! And then you get on and there's one person watching you. And you want to kick yourself.
Yesterday, I went from emotional highs to emotional lows. I started off with like 12 people watching me. I was feeling great, and then I had all these technical difficulties, and I had to pivot for a hot minute, and I was down to 1. I was watching myself. That was it, because they do count your monitor as a watch, and so that's really funny. And then later on, it leveled out, and it kind of went in there, but yeah, so that's, I think, a huge thing of it is the roller coaster that is the viewers. The roller coaster.
You really never know what you're gonna step yourself into, because Twitch has an algorithm. Like, we can talk about this because we stream on all 3 major platforms right now. Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. I would consider the 3 major ones. We don't talk about the other one.
Technically, I can stream to it. I don't, but
I can too. I did one night, but Twitch has an algorithm that's not that great for new discovery. YouTube is getting better, but we all know YouTube is for longer form pre-recorded content. That's what YouTube is and always has been. TikTok is fabulous for discovery, but you also have to be okay with 700 people seeing your stream and only 10 people staying to watch you.
And then the next stream, you have 10 people watching, 10 people seeing your stream. Because it's not, that's the thing with all the platforms. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. There is this level of difficulty in being consistent at first. Because it depends on the time of the day. It depends on the other people that are streaming at that time. There's just so many little factors that seem odd to us, right? If you are playing certain games, it might be more popular in Australia. So are you going to start streaming at 2 a.m.? But it might be more popular in Europe. Are you going to start streaming at noon when most people are watching for that? And so that's it. There's a whole, that's a whole nother podcast for us, is just talking about analytics of understanding the pieces to it all. And even then, even if I go in and nail it all down and I say, okay, this is my content, this is my category, this is what I'm doing, you're still not guaranteed anything.
And I feel like it's one of those things that, like, and this will be another topic again, like Jackward said, analytics is one of those things that we will dive deeper into, and we will give you actual analytics, because I don't care. I'll share mine. I don't care.
We talk about our analytics with each other all the time.
Yeah. We'll dive deeper into that into another episode. But it's one of those things that, like, what it really boils down to, and kind of to summarize all of the yapping that we've been doing this episode, you have to start streaming because you want to. You have to do what you love. You have to like the content that you're doing. You have to love the brand that you're setting up for yourself. The schedule that you set has to work for you. Not for the people you're trying to get to watch you, but for you and your schedule and your life. Is there something in the center of all of these things that we've talked about today? Oh, look, it's you!
No way. I didn't see that one coming.
Who knew? Like, and again, it really ties back to what we were talking about in the beginning. You are your brand when it comes to content creation and streaming and whatever you're doing on the internet. Even if you're a spicy accountant, you are your brand. You have to love you. Even if you don't love you, you have to pretend to love you. At least while you're on the internet, because the game you're playing is going to draw the people in, but you are going to be the one to keep them there. And that's really what content creation boils down to.
It's so true. That's actually where Jackward joke of the day came from, was what is something that I really enjoy. I like telling stupid jokes. Mm-hmm. And so, and I know Jackie, that's where some of her stuff with Animal Crossing and The Sims comes from. And just those chaotic moments that sometimes we create and sometimes just get forced upon us.
I mean, and that's where like a lot of the mental health stuff came from, because it's one of those things that, like, I'm a firm believer. I grew up in a household that mental health wasn't a thing. You just pushed it away and it's fine. Granted, my mother has grown since then, but still. So I always wanted to be a place where people could share their stories, because guess what? I know a lot of people don't have that. And I wanted to be that place for people. And I was like, you know what? I got mental health issues. So you can share yours too. I'll share mine if you want to share yours. And we can just make a big old trauma salad while we're on stream. It's fine. And listen, we can make a trauma salad one night. It's fine.
With extra pickles.
Yeah. Have you never seen the trauma candy salads on TikTok?
No, I've only seen the Hear Me Out cakes.
No, you do like, hi, my name is Jackie, and I was always told that I was very mature for my age, and I brought the bowl. And then you would say, hi, my name is Jackward, and then you'd say something traumatic that happened to you as a child, and I brought whatever candy, and then you dump it into the bowl. I don't know if
we want to dig into that that pineapple. That's a deep, deep, deep well.
I'm just saying.
So you don't get into
I mean, we could do our stream trauma. We could do our stream trauma.
I mean, I could just cover my trauma from teaching.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and when I started streaming, I was told I was only going to be good because I'm a girl and I'm pretty.
Hi, I'm Jackward Hero, and I had I only got into this. I don't know how this works, but I was made dead on Instagram by some students.
I'm sorry, what?
I told you, you don't want to dig into this. You don't want to dig into this trauma well. Yeah, there was an Instagram post one time.
True story. God.
I thought I died.
That has not happened yet.
This is the light stuff too. This is cream.
I feel like that's also why, though, I kept posting on the internet while I was sick. because somebody would have come for me. But anyway.
Okay. We have gone off the path here, and neither of us are recovering it.
But needless to say, you have to be your own brand, and you know what? Deep down inside, you might not like all of you, but you have to like the person you are going to be on the internet. And that's what this boils down to.
It's true.
Because if you don't like the person you are on the internet, well, then nobody else is going to like the person you are on the internet. And that's all I got. So give me your best hear me out before we give them our streaming tip of the day.
Okay, hear me out.
Ooh, I don't know if you're going to know mine, though, because you're old.
I'm not that much older than you.
Jackward is the same age as my husband, everyone.
Hear me out. Joe from The Facts of Life.
Okay. That one I know. My mom made me watch that show with her. Hear me out, Danny Phantom.
You didn't think I knew Danny Phantom? You jerk. I'm not that old.
Okay. So, what else you got?
Hear me out. Okay, this one I thought was a hear me out because I got a lot of judgment for it when I was younger. But then my wife said, no, I get that. Aunt Rachel from Family Matters.
Yeah. You want to know how I know we spend too much time together?
How?
You want to know what my next one was going to be? Hear me out, Steve Urkel. But also Steve Urkel's alternate identity.
Stefan.
Yes.
I watched way too much TGIF growing up.
The fact that you and I went down the same rabbit hole shows that we spend too much time together.
I wouldn't have it any other way, though. Honestly, this has been so much more fun.
For y'all that don't know, my husband, Mr. Jackie, will literally go, "Oh, that's right. It's your night with your other husband." I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah, my daughter has actually given me lectures on that now. Because I said I love you one time on stream, and she's like, you aren't supposed to love any other woman but your wife. I said, no, not like that.
I love your children. Greatest compliment I've ever gotten, people, is the fact that Jackward was like, listen, I had to talk to my children about safe streamers and not safe streamers, and don't worry, you made the cut of safe streamers that they're allowed to watch. And I'm like, whew, we're doing something right on the internet, people. His children can watch me. I haven't said anything too terrible yet.
No, get this, guys. And I think I told you this. Maybe I didn't. We were streaming a couple weeks ago, and it's been now it's a family endeavor on Friday nights to join my stream because Jackie's there. Because they want to see Jackie. They don't want to see me streaming Fortnite. No, they want to see Jackie.
I love it.
All right, let's go ahead and let's wrap this up with our tip of the day.
Tip of the day. Yes, if people don't know, Friday nights, Jackward and I stream together, doing much similar as this, except we're not just yapping. We're playing the game.
We're screaming. We're yelling.
We won 5 games in a row.
We did, but we were screaming and yelling then too.
It's true.
It was just excitement.
Okay, so I'm going to put
Friday.
our bus back on the tracks. And Jackward and I have decided at the end of every podcast, we're going to give y'all a tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
We got to make a sound. We got to make like a nice sound for that.
All I do is win, no matter what.
I don't know. I only have 5 sounds.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Though I did start playing with an AI sound creator the other day.
All right. So, tonight's tip of the night, tip of the day, tip of the top of the morning, whatever time you're listening to this, is to just start streaming. If you're thinking about it and you want to do it, just do it.
It's so
Like
true.
Nike said.
It's such a hard thing to just start. Once you start, it's so much easier. Everything can be figured out. Everything can be going. But I know so many streamers. I talk to students all the time about this. It's, oh, I want to be a streamer too. What do I need to do? Just start streaming.
All you need is a mic and a console.
Yeah,
You can
not
stream
everyone
from
needs to
console.
have their face. Some of my favorite streamers to watch are VTubers. And they don't technically need anything to any cameras to do that. Now, eventually, yeah, do they invest in it and grow and make it better and get custom models and custom... Yeah, but you don't need all that.
But that's a rabbit hole we'll get into in another day.
Because it's really
But-
easy to spend lots of money.
But if you want to start streaming, just do it. Like, that's all you gotta do. Just do it.
There's always going to
Make
be
yourself a
obstacles. There's always going to be reasons to not stream. There's always going to be, well, just give me one more week, as Jackie's story kind of demonstrated.
Yep. And here we are, a year later.
Yep.
Speaking of our year anniversary, we have things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my year anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, your anniversary. We have things to talk about. I got you. I understood. We just started this today. It's not our year anniversary.
No. Nope. I don't even know how long I've been following you. Wait, I want to pop it in your chat. Is that on? Let's find out.
My chat? Yeah, it's on. I don't know if
No, not.
I don't know if follow age works. There you go.
No, you've been following. I've been following you for half a year.
Yeah, I was following you first, so I've got a little bit more time on you.
Secretly, I didn't like him at first, everyone.
It wasn't a secret.
8 months.
Has been following since not following. Oh, that's Lumia's for me.
You're not following yourself. How dare you?
8 months. Wow, you did like me for a long time.
Oh my god. To be fair, you streamed outside of my bedtime.
I know. I mean, that's what 99% of it is.
Yes.
I'm starting usually about an hour, either right when you're starting or right after you've started, or you're going to bed.
It's true.
It's true.
But anyways, thank y'all for coming to hang out for the first ever episode of Streamer Talk with Jackward. Be sure to follow our individual channels on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. Be sure to follow, what did I name the YouTube channel?
I think it's Jackward Productions.
I don't know.
We
Hold
probably
on.
should have looked this up first.
Guys, we're
Jackward.
professional.
We are
professional.
professionals.
The Jackward podcast on YouTube.
Probably should make it the Streamer Talk with Jackward.
It probably should be the same name, but guess what? We didn't even have a profile picture.
Nope, because I just set it up and then we got into other things and I stopped working on it since then.
Yep.
Logistics.
Yeah. I have a profile picture for us, don't worry.
I know you do. I've seen it.
But yeah, be sure to follow us. Be sure to follow us on our individual Twitches if you want to listen in while we are yapping and filming the podcast. Be sure to follow us over on YouTube. I promise we'll change the YouTube name so it matches. Follow us wherever you find podcasts because Jackward is going to work his nerdy magic and get those up where the podcasts are found on
That's what I do.
Apple and Spotify.
Yep.
Is that where you're going?
Even more than that, Doozer and all the fancy podcast places.
Okay, so wherever you can find a podcast spot, you'll find us. So be sure to follow us there if y'all want to hang out. And tune in. Are we doing this next Monday? We hadn't talked
I
about
think we
this.
should. I think we should do it every other Monday, so that way we can have like a planning session, and then
Got it.
You know,
Got
like
it.
give us a
So,
buffer.
Come back. Hold on, let me get the exact date. Hold on. Clearly, we still had things to talk about, guys. But we've been putting this off. But we're taking our own advice because we had been putting this off for weeks, and it was never going to be the perfect time, so we just said we had to do it.
Facts.
So tune back in on Veterans Day, November 11th.
I love that for us. I love that we're gonna do that on Veterans Day.
Actually, that'll tie into what the other thing we have to talk about, anyways.
Okay, perfect.
Because that's at the end of that week.
Okay. Oh yeah,
So,
that would be.
Tune in.
I can do math. Yeah, that's.
Look at us. So tune in again on November 11th for another episode of Streamer Talk with Jackward. And again, y'all, if you have questions, please reach out to one of us if you have questions you want us to address in the podcast. Join my Discord. There's a whole channel in there just for the podcast. If you literally want to just put your comment in there and then leave the Discord, also fine. Don't feel like I'm forcing y'all to join my Discord.
Yeah, we'll put together a Google form for people who maybe don't do Discord. You can also just send a direct message to either of us as well. We just wanted to put it in one spot, and so what I'll do is if you send me a direct message, I will just put it into there for you. So there is no pressure to join the Discord, but if you have questions or you even just want us to talk about particular aspects of our journeys, go ahead and you can send that DM to us as well.
We just need some place to write it down or else we'll both forget.
Yeah. We even forgot things that we were going to do anyway, like all the time, but we're professionals.
But thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
All right. I just stopped recording. That was
did
it.
too.
I'm still live.
I'm still live as well.
So we don't want it to be an awkward end to the live. Or a jackward end to the live.
I mean, it's still going to be a jackward end to the live because that's what we do. That's how we go.
Jacking without your ward is a little difficult.
And now the spicy talk.
The solo jacking is not great.
Oh, God. I'm glad the kids are asleep.
Anyway, I hope y'all had fun with us tonight.
Yep, thanks for all the questions and pieces there. In fact, I was loving that. I want to say it was Kennedy, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, the Kennedy put questions in there.
Yeah, the question was, how do we start our journey? So I thought it was like
we actually answered that.
We couldn't avoid that because it was just perfect. That's exactly what we were talking about.
I also wanted to. I saw Padme put a comment in there that said, "I was working with GC the other night, and he was like, I don't know how I can repay you for all the help you've been giving me." And I replied, "I'm investing in you because that's like an investment in myself too. You succeeding is also my success. Making true and honest connections is the way to approach content creation for real." And it's so freaking true.
Oh, I know.
So
I mean, but that's Padme too. She's amazing. She will, for anyone who doesn't know who Padme is, she will just come and sit down with you and help you through whatever you're trying to do. The other day we were talking about something on Mix It Up, and she was like, the only reason I'm doing this block party was because I wanted to test out this one feature in Mix It Up. And I wanted to just kind of work through that. And there's this other feature I want to do, and it's been like stewing in my head of how to incorporate it, because that's what she does. She helps you get your stuff going, and then she gets you new ideas.
Sayless, thank you for the follow, by the way. I can address that now that we're not recording. We can address all of you now. You're beautiful, wonderful people.
I feel like we're like at the end of the Daily Show or something. You know, those little clips you see of them talking to the audience.
It's exactly what it is. But yeah, so that's all I got for tonight. This was fun.
This was fun. I thought it went really well.
A little chaotic, just like us.
Yeah, I think it was the right amount of chaos. Oh my gosh.
Your dog?
Away. Yes. She wants to
and
go somewhere
Abzu,
every day.
that was something we had thought about too. Was bringing other streamers on as well if they want to participate. We would love to have them.
Yeah, that was something we talked about early on, was bringing other people. Actually, was one of our original ideas, was when we were doing this and we brought in Babe for a what was it, the viewer talk-in or call-in, and we were like,
It was,
oh, this would be really cool.
It was right before the first stream together for Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's what it was. My brain.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Yeah. So that's kind of where all of this started, when we were actually doing that. Because one of the greatest pieces of advice I think we both received is that if you cannot sit and have a stream where you can just chat for 2 hours and not be playing a game, you probably shouldn't be streaming.
Especially if you can do that by yourself. Like, it's easy back and forth with just, someone else, like what we're doing right now. Yeah. But it's another thing when you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
Y'all already know I could yap for 2 hours if I tried.
Facts. I've seen you do it.
This is true.
We're going to start a game, and then you'll still be yapping for 40 minutes later.
Listen, just be lucky that I got all my catching up and my yapping done tonight. So tomorrow when I actually stream, we're going to skip right on over all the finger stuff.
That's fair. So I didn't get the whole story of your mom slicing her finger or...
So Friday, after we got Mr. Jackie back from the doctors, which he has a lovely trip to the plastics on Wednesday.
Fun.
Yeah. But so my mother texted him and said, who's worse, me or you? And she sends him a picture of her finger, like, sliced open. You can, like, it didn't look pretty. And so I texted her. I said, what did you do to yourself? And she goes, oh, yeah, I fell off the ladder. I was painting the living room. She's got neuropathy in her feet, so she can't feel the bottom of her feet. So, like, she can't feel, like, the edge of the stairs, or if she's getting, like, too close to the edge of anything, she can't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing she got too close to the edge of the ladder and fell over. And she was, like, in a weird spot in the living room where she fell, like, in between the couch and one of her tables. And when she came down, I'm guessing her finger just, like, grazed the side, because it was, like, a marble top table. Just, like, grazed the side of the marble top table, and she, like, sliced open, like, all, like, right up in here.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she's got, like, 8 stitches in her finger right now.
Fun times. I've been there. I've done that.
They're getting mittens for Christmas, the both of them.
Oh, so after my wife sliced her finger with the mandolin, her professor gave her those chainmail cutting gloves as a gift. And
yeah. I just need Wednesday to go well, because workman's comp does not pay enough.
No, it does not. It is stupidly low.
60% of your salary is not enough.
No. Especially when you're also paying medical bills and other things like that.
Well, thankfully, he doesn't have to pay for any of his medical bills because he hurt himself at work.
Well, but that happened to me, but I had to pay for all of my medical bills up front, and then the state reimbursed me, and so I had to wait, because that's the lovely work of living in conservative states.
Yeah, New York State doesn't do that. He hasn't paid for a single thing.
That's huge. That's such a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wish that, like, those little things, like, hey, I injured myself at work doing work things, don't make me pay.
He wasn't even doing anything cool. He was cutting a box open, getting soup lids for a little old lady.
It's okay. When I didn't know the exact details, because all you'd said was he cut his finger, I said, well, he works in the deli, I'm pretty sure. So
Right?
that's why.
I thought when he called me, I thought he did something cool. No. I said, you worked for this company for 10 years and you couldn't have done something cool when you first hurt yourself? No, you cut it on your box cutter?
No, my job actually has a new rule. I'm not allowed to play any of the pep assembly games because I got injured. I got injured playing one of them. And
It's
that
fine.
was
I'm making him rake the leaves outside. That's what he's doing in his
the
free
fourth
time.
school that I've had to do a workman's comp for. So they said,
Okay.
nope, you're not allowed.
I gotta show y'all this. Because y'all need to see my backyard right now. We spent an hour and a half outside today raking up leaves, and it still looks like this. I only have half the lawn actually done.
See, it's those kind of things that make me not want to have seasons.
Well, our yard is gigantic. First off,
I
and
noticed.
I have two trees that are in my backyard, and then there's 4 trees that are in my neighbor's backyard that fall into my yard. So, got to deal with that. But anyway, I guess I got to go to bed because I actually have to go back to work tomorrow.
No, that's right. Today was your work from home day.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
I didn't actually work, but
I'm sure you did something. You would never do, corporate theft and admit it online.
I did actually do stuff. I did. There is actual and evidence of me doing things.
Well, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to go to bed.
All right.
Good night, everyone. Okay, you're yawning too.
Yeah. Well, I didn't sleep well last night. That's why.
Well,
my anxiety took over last night.
Well, you got to find ways to cope. I have to get up out of bed and go to a different place to sleep. That's how I did.
I've done that a few times, and it sometimes works.
And then I have to put on a video, and so that it drowns out my thoughts. Then the intrusive thoughts can't happen.
Oh yeah, the anxiety stuff was more related to stuff that had happened, not stuff that was going to happen.
Well, if you need to vent, there's a venting
You
channel.
were there for it all. It was just, it riled me.
I know.
It messed with me.
No, I actually missed what actually happened.
Okay, well, I'll tell you off stream sometime.
Yeah, you told me you were gonna message me, and you never did. That would have made you
because
feel
I
better.
got done at we were done at 11, and then talked with Padme and GC for about 30 minutes, and I was like, I need to go to bed. And I was going to message you in the morning, and it's just been, I mean, I literally am running into this podcast. So
Fair.
Yeah, I thought you knew what happened because you were helping me play it coyly so well. Well, I was
just rolling with it.
I appreciate you.
But I may or may not be dressing up as an Animal Crossing dodo tomorrow for stream while we play Animal Crossing, because our usual Saturday stream is going to be taken over by Fortnite's update.
Oh my gosh, that's Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to get a new chapter, finally! You know this chapter's been out for almost a year?
No, I guess that makes sense because we're on 5 now. Wait.
It was December of last year that this came out.
Yeah, that would make sense then.
It's been almost a year.
But I feel like there was a chapter that was like super short too. That was in here. Was like
But you got to think this chapter, because then we get the seasons that follow it. So the seasons, we've had Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Olympus, and all of them that fell along with it. Then somehow we moved into
Wasteland,
bumper cars,
and then
we moved into Marvel. Yeah,
I know, it's crazy. I gotta grind this week. That's probably what I'll go do after this. Just go turn on Fortnite Lego and work on the plot because I've been doing that.
Yeah. We probably should play that on Friday so that we can finish up everything.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, let's do Fortnite this week, and then next week we can do a different FPS, or even just a different game altogether. It doesn't even have to be an FPS. We'll just have Friend Friday.
The new chapter is going to be dope too, though, because it's going to be a remix on chapter 2.
Yes, I did read. I just read that, but I didn't ever do chapter 2. So
yeah, but yeah, I'm doing a cosplay of one of the dodo birds from Animal Crossings tomorrow. I will not be painted yellow though, because I did not get yellow face paint, but that's okay. Close enough.
Honestly, you don't want to deal with yellow face paint.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, hopefully I'll see some people tomorrow. I love you all. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. Well, we rambled for 2 hours.
Facts.
I appreciate y'all. All right. I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Bye.
All right. Let's go ahead and raid out. See who's on. Oh, let's raid into May's room. Oh, maybe not. Let me see how long they've been going. We were talking about May earlier.
I don't like the way they feel in my mouth, Allie. My dog is chasing his tail. It's so funny. That's so
I don't
cute.
think they're ending soon. All right. Let's go ahead. We're gonna raid into May. Oh, it's not. It's a mix it up, and mix it up isn't on. Let me just I can put it together real quick. I forgot that one and that one. Jackward raid. That one and that one. Boom. There it is. There it is. It's okay, JB. No one knows. No one knows. It was just a slow command. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and raid in there. Thank you guys all for joining. I hope you guys had fun with Jackie and I. We look forward to doing this again real soon. But until then, you guys all have a great night. I don't have any of my scenes, so you get to just stare at my face until we raid. Hi.